Let's peep this out. Why War Won't Work with Gen Z by Tommy NFG.
You know, they say every couple of generations, one generation is bound to experience the most life-changing events in history.
Should I turn up the volume? Is volume good? I'm gonna turn it up.
So far, it's looking like Gen Z is fitting the boot. Okay, maybe that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but can you blame me after all the things we've had? Most of us were born around the time or after one of the most devastating terror attacks in modern times happened. We saw our parents trying to keep their sanity during the 2008 financial crisis. As soon as we stepped out into the real world as adults, everything decided to shut down because of COVID in 2020. We've been having-
Dude, I had a conversation with one of my homies recently, and we were talking about how what if COVID happened while we were like, because I'm 22 now, and it happened when I was in high school. Bro, if COVID happened now, I don't know what I would do, bro. Or obviously I would make content and stuff like that, but like, I feel like if I were older and like, let's say my job laid me off during this whole pandemic, I'd be so scared, bro. I'd be so scared. I wouldn't know what to do, bro.
Haven't drilled since we were 5 at school in case a lunatic comes in and mows the whole school down. And now to add the cherry on top, we may be running back to draft and being put on the war field. Excuse me, I meant you guys.
Nigga, we blow up like crazy. That is true. I'm not gonna lie. If there was another COVID right now, like let's say tomorrow they lock everything down, I'm not gonna lie. I am going up with content. I'm going up with content, bro. I'm going up even more, bro. You know? Cam, stop saying slurs. Oh, my bad. I said job, bro. My bad, little bro.
May be running back the draft and on the war field. I just found out I'm highly on the spectrum, so unfortunately that means I can't qualify.
Bro, same. I cannot go on the front lines.
Soldiers, I'll give y'all each a high five and you can have fun on the battlefield. It's crazy how Gen Z is kind of running back what millennials had. Because millennials had a war growing up with a terrible economy and had to worry about if they could even afford a house. But man, at least they had good music coming out. What the do we have for these turmoil times? Lil Mabu? I don't think I really have to explain.
Put him on the front lines, bro. He hasn't dropped it. I don't think he's dropped a banger since like 2023. No, funny enough, when I heard the first Lil Mabu song I heard was that one where he was like, was it like the ABCs or something? It was something like that, and he was kind of spitting, and everybody was reacting to it. And then after that, I have not heard about that man again. He's chilling with Bonnie Blue, bro. Put him and her on the front lines ASAP.
Too much what's going on. If you don't keep up with the news, you've probably seen the memes already about hitting 360 no scopes on the battlefield.
That's me.
The United States of America officially got involved with the Israel and Iran conflict and decided to drop 3 bombs on what they say is their nuclear sites. But of course, that's just a theory. A game theory. All right, I'm sorry.
Yo.
Now, I'm not going to say too much of my personal opinion on it and break this down like it's a 5-hour political podcast. I usually say and talk about things more on stream, so definitely go follow me on there.
Yo, I'm not going to lie. Put Tommy in the World Cup, bro. Did y'all just see how he just... Hold up, bro. Hold up.
Political podcast. I usually say and talk about things more on
Look
stream,
how he's keeping up the ball. Yo,
definitely...
put him in the World Cup, bro. Put him in the World Cup. ASAP. ASAP. It's next year. Put him in the World Cup.
Go follow me on there in the second channel. But it's not surprising that everyone is scared online and doesn't know what's gonna happen. You know, in the past, you usually didn't have a president tweeting that they bombed a country, then posting a low PNG photo of the American.
That man repped the set. He bombed the country and then repped the set. That is insane.
American flag right after. This is definitely the worst time to be the ripe age of 18 to 25 because we going first if the draft happens. Unfortunately, high school class of 2025, you only got a couple of seconds of freedom before you were cooked. I've been thinking to myself for a while in a hypothetical
that man is freaky
scenario of them actually doing a draft. The government doesn't realize that
it would not work with Gen Z.
Gen Z has got to be the worst generation for them to try and get on the war train with them. And this isn't even mentioning about all the femboys and furries we got. Not even talking about how half of us are either morbidly obese or twigs.
I think honestly, bro, the furries, if a furry gets drafted and they don't want to go, I think they should sell their suit and then maybe give that money to the military or something, bro, because those furry suits be costing a lot. Like, bro, have y'all seen how much a furry suit costs? It costs like 10 bands. For one of those suits. And I think that's just like the body part. The head probably costs 5K itself. That's like 15 bands. I feel like, bro, dude, furries are high-key rich, bro.
The main reasons I think war wouldn't work with Gen Z is because the propaganda age of America is officially dead. And not just America, any country that has some form of free press is absolutely cooked. The reason why people back then were so patriotic and would do anything to be in the army in war times, you had kids who were in high school lying about their age so they could serve in the army, was because so many people trusted what the politicians said and how the media said things.
That is so true. Back then, I remember one of my teachers actually was telling me how like war was this cool thing to go to. Whenever there was a war or anything, everybody was like, yeah, let's go. And like if let's say you were in school and like you were going to war and you chose to go to war, like all the girls were on you. That's what my teacher said, but maybe he was just capping. Maybe he was just capping, bro. Maybe he was capping. Takes one to know one. Bro, I am not a furry. Trust, bro. I am not a furry. I'm gonna go shower and go to sleep, have a good stream, bro. Hey, I appreciate you, Toe. Appreciate you for popping out, brother. Turn the vid up a little bit. I got you.
Politicians were treated as saintly figures that would never do bad for the American people, because why would they? They sit on podiums and do cool speeches about us fighting for our democracy and freedom. And now we look back at certain conflicts America got in and realize that there was no point in us being there. Like, almost nobody nowadays thinks the Vietnam War was something America needed to get involved in. And it's crazy how the number one...
I'm pretty sure we lost that too. Or at least I remember in school, they used to say it was like a tie or something, in quotes. It was a tie. But I'm pretty sure we got cooked and then we cheated when there was like the, I think it was called like Operation Orange or something. It was something like that.
Superpower for military and all things. Lost to that were setting up Looney Tune ad traps in the ground.
Unky. Yo, what's good, Isaiah? I'm pretty sure during the Vietnam War too, they used to put feces on the spikes so that when you got hit by the spikes, like you would get some sort of disease once you got hit. We gotta run Peak soon. Bro, I've been hearing about Peak. Is that a Peak game? We might have to run it, bro. It does sound fun, or it does look fun.
The Iraq War is universally seen as a dumb war that shouldn't have happened by people now. Like, even Trump and Obama agree on that. That's probably the only thing they agree on. The reasons why these work, though, is because it was so much easier to push propaganda in the past. Like, in the Vietnam War, they were playing TV ads saying this was all about freedom and nothing else. Taking ads.
Who thinks of that shit, bro? Some sick MFs out here. Bro, yeah, it is kind of crazy. It is kind of crazy. Like, you would step on a spike, or you would get hit with a spike in the leg, and then you would get a disease from the poop that's on it. Like, that is kind of insane. That is kind of, you got to be a deranged human to go to war. I feel like that's why, or not even I feel like, that's why a lot of people, once they go to war, bro, it's like, nothing is the same, man. Nothing is the same, bro. I couldn't go, man. I couldn't go, bro. I couldn't.
Ads out the newspaper saying the only way to be a man is by getting drafted to war. And at the time before social media, everyone basically believed it because that's all that was shown. There wasn't anyone with major platforms that would go against it because they would get censored. And everyone watched media through a few news channels which would all say the same thing. During the Iraq War though, that's when you first started seeing people actually start speaking up about things. Saying, hey, maybe going into a country and murdering innocent civilians and committing war crimes isn't a good thing. Just maybe. But social media was still in its baby phases at the time it was going on, so there was still a lot of enthusiasm for it. But now with Gen Z, we grew up in the most free era of social media. No one would go because everyone would know it would be another lie that the government is doing. And the military's numbers have already been dropping more than ever. People have been making fun of it because they be trying to recruit soldiers anywhere they can now. They've been seen at anime cons.
Anime conventions? Anime conventions is crazy. And esports teams? Oh, hell no, bro.
Whole Twitch channels now. They even got them at NBA games now. I'm not gonna lie, if I'm watching my glorious king LeBron putting up 40 points and a military sergeant comes up to me like, hey son, this game sure is great, right? Have you ever thought of the game of fighting for your country? Like, get the f out my face, bro. I'm watching LeBron. Even
bro,
if
yeah, I'm legit stiff arming that man, bro. Heisman Trophy. I'm hitting that man out the way.
There was a chance it was true and we were rightfully defending ourselves from evil. The US government has lost so much trust in the public, no one would believe them. I don't know a single man I've asked in Gen Z that said they would actually go if they got drafted. Most would rather just take the prison time or fine than go. And looking at it in the long run, it's not even that bad. It's 5 years in prison max if you don't go. So it's either you get 5 years max in prison for not going and stay alive, or go and potentially get obliterated on the battlefield by a missile.
It's essentially get your butt taken in prison or get blown up on the front lines. Either way, you're getting cooked. Either way, you're getting cooked. There's no way out of this one.
Straight to the head. Hey man, I don't know about y'all, but I'm throwing a party in that prison for every day we not in the warfield. I got a friend that served in the military for a couple of years, and even he said nowadays he'd rather take the prison time. Also, the younger generation has realized we don't want to fight a war because of a politician's beef. Like, why don't y'all fight it yourselves? Why I gotta grab the military equipment while you sit on a plane watching from above drinking champagne? They should host a boxing match every year for world leaders, and whoever wins, their country gets the most benefits for that year.
Bro,
Looking at our leader for now, though, yeah, we might be losing for the.
Yeah, no, we'd be cooked. I think, bro, if we held boxing matches each year, bro, like a little boxing tournament, you know, for the most money in the world to use, bro, that would be great, bro. Honestly, that would be. Actually, you know what? Nah, never mind. We would get cooked. That would be a bad idea. That would be a bad idea. I feel like ours wouldn't take it serious, bro. This man would not take it serious.
Next couple of years if that happens. Also, growing up in this age, we've gotten exposed to how badly these war injuries leave people. This right here might be the sole reason Gen Z would never join in. There's always a chance you could end up with one of those. People in war lose body parts I didn't even know was possible to lose. The day I'm at war and they try to obliterate my meat, the whole place is getting torn down. They should have tried to stop those images from coming out, because who the hell would want to...
Low-key low? Oh shoot, let me up it real quick actually. Let me up the audio. Is it better now?
Potentially get involved in a war after seeing pictures like that. And it's crazy because it could happen at any moment to you on the warfield. One day you're chilling in the breezy weather of Iraq and...
Audio and mic. Oh shoot, should I bring my mic up? Hello, 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 hello. Is this better? Let me see. Let me up the gain on my mic. Excuse me. Hello, hello? Yeah, better? Perfect, perfect. I think I was just low-key far from my mic. I think I was just far.
115-degree weather. You're vibing, then you look to the right and see a man with 20 cc's of C4 strapped to his chest running to you at Usain Bolt speed. And now you end up looking like Two-Face back at home. I'm not sitting here and saying all of America's wars were unjustified though. Like, I always appreciate the veterans out there who fought, because most of the time, even if the war ended up being unjustified, a lot joined to fight for justified reasons and what they were told, and then felt bad when they realized it was a lie. And also for World War II, America was justified in a lot, like, let's be real, mainly making sure Adolf didn't end up owning the world. But like I said, no matter how justified a conflict may be, the trust is gone from the public. It'll take a real hard campaign to have the youth agree the government is totally not lying in what they're saying. And the president we have now is totally not a liar, right?
One thing I can promise you this: I will always tell you the truth.
He don't even believe that himself. Do you see his face? He was probably holding back a laugh so hard in his mind. That's the thing that's most important in a war.
Bro, they knew not to make me president, bro, because if I had to give a speech like that and I said something like that, I would just start dying, bro. Like, on the spot, I would just start laughing, bro, and people would not take me serious.
Or having a person that the younger generation wholeheartedly trusts. It's a reason why a lot of dictatorships completely ban social media, because they can fully propaganda the younger generation to look up to the leader and they're all gonna believe in them. Even having someone that they trust is hard, but having someone that the younger generation doesn't trust, yeah, it's gonna be damn near impossible for the government to try to get us on the war train with that. No matter your view on Trump, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that most of Gen Z does not have a good view on him. You take a room of 10 of us, and I would say at least 8 people are gonna say they don't like him. And look, like I've said in the past, I'm not even one of those that's a Trump hater 24/7 and spends all day writing hate articles on him. But if you truly think the younger generation would fully be behind him declaring a war on another country, you're delusional. Bro, we just had a protest around the whole country against what he's doing. And because he's commander-in-chief and can set whatever war policies he wants, I would not trust what the this would implement. Like, what if he implements a policy where if your meat is smallest, you gotta be the first to go because you probably can't repopulate the population after a drought?
Damn, I'd be going, bro. I'd be going. Legit, if I had to go because the meat's too small, bro, GG's, bro. I'd be going off the rip, bro. It'd be over for me, bro.
From all the casualties. All of us would be like, I don't know if I can trust the man leading the war that says this on stage.
Because they asked me what I do, and I said, I'm gonna bomb.
Wait, what do you mean, oh, we know? No, all we know is all we know is crazy. All we know is crazy. All we know is crazy. Yo. All we know is insane. We might F around and have another civil war if he tried to make laws re-electing him for 2028. Bro, yeah, I think if he does something like that, number one, like, that's just straight up BS. That's straight up BS if he tries to do that. Number two, like, people are definitely going to riot. And then there's also going to be the people who are, like, just meat riding him. Like, nah, let him run the country as long as I'm alive. Crazy enough. I could see him doing that. Bro, yeah. Bro, I saw a meme that said, it was The Rock and John Cena. It was a little, what's that thing called? It was a little preview for like WrestleMania one of the years, Rock versus John Cena. And it said Trump versus Obama in 2028 when he decides to run it back for a third time. Whole country got brainwashed. Bro, yes. Bro, yes. It's crazy how many people. Bro, some people, like, it's crazy because it doesn't matter what Trump does. They will quite literally always side with him, bro. Always side with him. Like, I'm not saying that you got to hate the man 24/7 or anything. Tommy said it perfectly. He was talking about how, like, he doesn't hate the man 24/7, or he's not a, like, Trump hater. But at the same time, like, there's no reason to be a Trump glazer, you know? Like, it's crazy how many people glaze this man.
Out of him.
Imagine he forgot there was a couple of soldiers on the warfield and threw one right in the middle of the fight. Also, another reason why the younger generation wouldn't be motivated to join in is because we really got nothing to look forward to and have no hope for an American dream. Our economy's still from COVID and inflation is still going on. No one can get a job on the mainland already, and most of Gen Z ain't gonna get a house in their lifetime. At least back then, when you fought a war, you had those things to look forward to. You came back and could work a shift as a cashier and buy a house in 2 years. Nowadays, instead of that, you're gonna come back and have no work available to you, probably still be living with your parents. All the femcells on Twitter and TikTok are gonna be laughing at the men dying on the warfield. And don't count on the government to help you either after. It's so sad to me that they're
Without a leg also, bro. You'd have like a leg blown off, an arm blown off. You won't even be able to function. And then you got to somehow like live in this society, bro. It's cooked. It's already cooked.
There's people out there that served the country and helped keep it alive, only for them to end up homeless with no help from the government. In what world should homeless veterans even be a thing, bro? We spend $880 billion on the military a year. Everyone who served in war should be eating good and kicking back for the rest of their lives.
That's one of the saddest things, bro. Like, when I see homeless people, like, it is sad, but when I see a homeless veteran, I'm like, dang, bro. Like, they really fought. They put their life on the line for the country, bro. And it's like they couldn't even, the country couldn't even like serve them back, you know? They serve the country and the country don't serve them back. Like, that's just sad, bruh. It's so sad. If I still got my meat and legs and I'm satisfied, bro, so if you have your whole torso blown off, your head blown off and everything, you'd be fine. As long as you just got your meat and legs, bro. Bro, that meat won't be able to function, bro, if you don't got a head and a torso, bro. It won't be able to function. Add people who struggle with communication and social skills being turned to cannon fodder first. Bro, I'm gonna be real. Like, our generation, it's crazy because, like, I just heard something outside. I don't think I was supposed to hear. But our generation has bad social skills. They have very bad social skills. Ever since, like, COVID. Like, I remember when I was working, like, a real, trigger warning job. Like, I'd be out there and I'd have to like train someone. And while I'm training them, like, let's say somebody younger than me, let's say like a year younger. I was like 20, right? They're like 19. COVID just ended and everything. Bro, they cannot, like, I tell them, yo, like, yes, you just got to do this, this, and this. I slide in like a joke or something. They would just stare at me, bro. They wouldn't even know how to speak back. It's crazy. It's insane. But when we have social programs to protect vets, it's always that socialism. Lamau, country is so cooked, bro. Yeah. We are cooked, bro. We are cooked, man.
It's something that none of us wanted to do, and the politicians, and then got the end of the stick. If I was them, I would take back all of my service and stay my ass on the mainland. The government has tried to right those wrongs and make better benefits for people, but you still end up with people who got left behind and have nothing after. The only reason why I would even join, to be honest, is the benefits. I just have to sit there and pray that a war doesn't actually happen. Because for real, I'd only want the free insurance and vacations. The war field is a different conversation. I'm gonna have to take my prison time for that game. Anyways, that's gonna be it. For anyone in Gen Z that's actually worried about a draft in war, I'm gonna let you know right now, there's about a 95% chance no draft happens. Like, first off, half of our paycheck if you live in the United States goes to the military. We spend $880 billion a year on the military, and Iran spends a whopping $10 billion. Their whole military operation would get wiped in like 2 nanoseconds if they actually tried to attack civilians. They would learn the true reason why we don't have free healthcare. The last thing they'd ever want to do is let all politicians put their political beliefs aside and let Congress come together and let Trump do whatever the he'd want to do in a war. It wouldn't matter if their allies got involved, which I don't think they would even do. They would have so much more to lose with Iran, like it wouldn't be worth it. Also, they wouldn't do it because I'm here. They know I don't play when I say
Yo, this man.
Anyways, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. As always, I love you guys.
Nah, W video by Tommy, man. W video by Tommy. We love Tommy's videos. Great guy. Great guy. Great guy. Final thoughts. Hey, I do agree. I'm not going to no war, nothing, bro. I'm not going to war. If I gotta go to war, bro, I'm not gonna lie, man. Like I said, I'm blind. I can't see. I have no hands. Y'all can't see my hands. I can't function. None of that, bro. I can't go to war.